Well, it's official. We reached the halfway point of the regular season. Still a lot of work left to do, though, as we're away in Week 9. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he was pushing for midfield there before they finally dragged him down at the 45. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out to former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, it's very easy for me to use all these psychological cliches, Kate, right? Gotta flush it. You gotta play one play at a time. You gotta flush last week's 5-interception performance, but the reality is you gotta be in the moment. You can't even be thinking about last week. You gotta think about every play, guard that ball with everything you got, and most importantly, help your team find a W.
Lawrence now off the play action. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Lawrence working from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. The Jaguars into punt formation. And I imagine they were hoping they wouldn't need to bring him out so soon into this game. Only punted once in last week's loss, and he gets this one away. That hits at the 9, but nobody around to grab it. It carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Cardinals now as they get sent for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a #1 pick out of Oklahoma. One of the game's better runners, it's Kyler Murray.
You know, Kate, sometimes they say great quarterbacks are like great point guards. And much like we measure point guards in basketball with the assist-to-turnover ratio, and you love a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio that will win you ball games, same with quarterbacking. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a big old win last week.
We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. 8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Here's Murray. His throw finds Marvin Harrison Jr. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Give him 24 on that play. And it'll be 1st down, Arizona.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st and 10, Murray. McBride hauls it in. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Now Murray on the play fake. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's a Cardinals 1st down. Working inside the red zone. Ryman there to haul it in. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal.
You want to start a good debate sometime, Kate? Go in an NFL locker room and ask which position is the best athlete. The big guys, the left tackles will tell you it's them. The corners will tell you it's them. But I'll tell you what, these tight ends of today, the way they can run and break tackles and get in the open field, they truly are some of the best athletes on the team.
Trying to run it in, Connor. And they make a stop at the last minute. It's a gain down to the 1. This is going to go as a pickup of 4. 2nd and goal coming up. Benson. Will not score. The defense holds and stops him short of that goal line.
Hey, as much as I love talking about these physical matchups, right now this is psychological. This adds some layers to this third down call. Do you try your hand at another run and hope it fares better? Tougher to go back to it again when it just gets stuffed.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage.
Still third down.
So the penalty yardage moves them a bit closer here for 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Murray. Forced out to, and he will score. Touchdown, Arizona. The Cardinals have a great first drive and get the game's first points. It's a Kyler Murray touchdown. An early reminder that while you're trying to account for all the options they've got on offense, Brock, you also got to be wary of how well he can run the football, too.
You know, one of the questions that I love that you ask in our production meetings to these D coordinators is, anything keeping you up this week? Anything this offense does in particular that's going to be really bothersome? And it's just this, time and again, right? A quarterback that can run is such a weapon.
That one right down the middle. And the Cardinals will jump out to a 7-0 lead. The Cardinals kicking team out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Starting from the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Second drive coming up for the Jacksonville offense. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening first down as they take the field a second time. Here's Etienne to begin the drive. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Sean Murphy-Bunting ranging over for that stop. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. From the 29. He's got his man. It's the rookie out of Colorado. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Here's Etienne on first down. And he's brought down for a loss.
Kid, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
He thought he had the timing down and could make the play, but just a hair too early.
Still 2nd down.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Throw reeled in by Thomas. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out. He manages a gain of 8 there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the first defender. Heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
On 2nd down, it's Etienne. And he gets this beyond the midfield stripe and onto the Cardinals side of the field. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Etienne again. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, Kate, these are not the plays that are like bold in the stat sheet when you look back on it, but these are the kind of gains by the running back that keep the offense on schedule and move the chains.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. That's Thomas, he's got it. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
They'll come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Catch is made in close. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Lawrence. To the corner of the end zone, but incomplete. Oh, he made the catch, but didn't get down in bounds. So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Etienne. And he's in for the touchdown. The Jaguars reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Travis Etienne, the touchdown. Cam Little to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jaguars tie this game 7-7. On now is Cook to kick this away. Here's Greg Dortch with the return. Return's looking good so far. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. The Cardinals and Kyler Murray set to take over. And he's been more than just his work as a passer this season. Look at this. He's gotten the job done on the ground as well. 2nd among NFL quarterbacks in rushing yards. Play action now. Murray. Snared by the running back. Here's Trey Benson.
Defense all over that throw. You could just smell it. They just smelled that football coming their way, and that's as good as an incompletion. And they're going to be in a good spot. 2nd down coming up.
He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Tackled there by Jordan Lewis. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the 2nd. We'll return to State Farm Stadium in just a moment. Back and ready now for the 2nd quarter. It's Cardinals football. They start out with a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Escapes out to the left. They'll make a bid for it on the ground. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Benson on 1st and 10. And he takes it across midfield and into Jaguars territory. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. From the 48. He's on the move. He takes it himself. Spins out of one stop. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one hits for 30. And it'll be 1st down, Arizona.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the 1st down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
Murray here on 1st down. He completes it in traffic. And he's able to get this down to the 13. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Option play they give to Benson. And it's a nice gain on the run, aided by that broken tackle. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
So he jumped too early, and that's going to cost him 5 yards.
Still 1st down.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Connor. Scores. Touchdown, Arizona. The Cardinals take a 2nd quarter lead. It's a James Conner touchdown. Those defensive coaches got to be hot, Brock. That was a touchdown that shouldn't have happened. That tackle should have ended it.
You try bringing down one of these NFL running backs then, Miss Kate.
Okay, touche, partner.
They see that goal line. They smell that goal line. It is no sure thing to try to bring down one of those horses before they find pay dirt.
Ryland able to connect on the point after. And the Cardinals break that tie and now lead by 7. The Cardinals kicking team out, and they'll put a charge into this one. His return starts at the 5. He's got a lane up past the 30. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. They're out and set, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll give this up the middle to Etienne. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. That pass caught by Strange. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can come in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Buda Baker bringing that one to an end. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believe.
And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. That is a touchdown to one of their prime receiving targets.
This is really what you pay your skill guys for. You know, I had an old coordinator say, it's my job to get you a one-on-one. It's your job to go out and win it with a touchdown.
Little able to connect on the point after. And the Jaguars tie things up at 14. On now is Cook to kick this away. On the return, here's Jones. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Arizona offense ready to get things going again. And with each team coming off a touchdown and scoring well early on, we've got the makings of a barn burner here, Brock, if they can keep this up.
Yeah, and as a quarterback, as an offense, it doesn't mean you over-try, but you just know, hey, man, our defense having a hard time slowing them down, and we've got to step on that accelerator.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Staying on the ground with Benson. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Chad Muma there to bring him down. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Throwing now off play action. Challenges double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Jaguars get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field, Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away, just as they did.
1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Ooh, the Cardinals get to him here. He's brought down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, and quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you. And as a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. Flush down out to his left. He can run it.
You know, that's a situation. May have worked out better if he'd thrown the ball. His running ability gets him a chunk of yards, but still some work to do to get that 1st down.
Ooh, a little movement along the line there. That's going to cost the defense 5 yards.
Encroachment, defense.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage.
Still 3rd down.
The penalty makes it 3rd and 8 here. Now it's Lawrence. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
To get home and hit and impact the quarterback at this level, well, typically you got to do what this defense is doing, and that's keeping an offense off balance. Change up your looks, rotate your personnel, throw in some wrinkles, and once again, go hit that quarterback.
And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. It's a 61-yard punt that time, and it'll be Cardinals football. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. And off to Benson to start the drive. This is ahead for about 5. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. We're at the 2-minute warning of a high-scoring game so far. My goodness. The Cardinals with a lot of work to do to get into scoring range. From the 24. That pass is complete to McBride. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Cardinals in the hurry-up now, racing the clock as they work to get set. Bails out of the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season.
I know he started the play as a defender, but gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back, he looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, evaded obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. Well, it'll make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches on occasion, and I think he just gave himself maybe a look on that side of the ball down the road.
The Jaguars headed out on offense late in this 1st half. And this is certainly on a silver platter for him, isn't it, Brock? Just 3 yards from the end zone. Lawrence working from the gun. And he rips this one out and over the back of the end zone, incomplete. So the incompletion on 1st, here's 2nd and goal. Now Lawrence. That's taken in by Etienne. And he's tackled for no gain. So before 3rd down whistles, and yep, the timeout comes in. Etienne. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. The Cardinals deciding to use the first of their 3 timeouts. 4th and goal, tie game. They're going to try with Etienne. And this time he gets it done. Touchdown. The Jaguars take the lead just before halftime. Travis Etienne the touchdown. So, Brock, they take a gamble, and it pays off with a big touchdown on 4th and goal.
And they do it on the ground as well, and that just speaks volumes. That's confidence that you can own this line of scrimmage, and your back will see a lane and will get the job done. That just infuses your team and your sidelines with so much confidence.
That one splits the uprights. And the Jaguars break that tie and now lead by 7. On now is Cook to kick this away. Dortch now to return it. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Cardinals getting out there on offense one last time in this opening half. Not a whole lot of time left for him to put something together here before the break. They'll begin this drive with barely over 25 seconds left. On 1st and 10, it's Murray. This one is hit by a defender and winds up incomplete.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
Murray thrown again on 2nd and 10. McBride hauls it in. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. Operating from the gun, here's Murray. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. The Cardinals are going to use the last of their timeouts. Another try following the sack. And he's in trouble and gets brought down again. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Jaguars with an extra defensive back out there, 3rd down. Well, last play didn't work out too well. Looks like they're going ground game now. And this defense continuing to erase the ground game. This one stopped at the line. So on 4th down now, Blake Gillikin gets the call to punt it away for the Cardinals. He was only needed twice in last week's win, and he gets this one away. And he'll have this fair catch right along the 25. So it's halftime, and the visiting Jaguars have played themselves to a nice little lead thus far. Now we'll send you to our studios in Orlando and Jonathan Coachman for a look around the league with our...
One of the top performers in that first half was the running back, Travis Etienne. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. On now is Cook to kick this away. Dortch now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. Now after that return, we've got an injured player getting some assistance as we momentarily step aside. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Hand off to Benson from the gun. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Following the run, we see he's still out there dealing with some sort of injury. They'll head out to check on him. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Connor here from the gun. He's contained at the line for no gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. It looked like they had it, but nope, no gain, and now they're just inches short for 3rd down. Right back to Connor. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Pickup of 2 here, and that's a Cardinals 1st down. It's Connor again. And he can only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
And he gets him around 6 there. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. 3rd and 4 coming up now. From the gun, it's Murray. Complete beyond the marker. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll be 1st down, Arizona.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
First and 10, Murray. Escapes the pocket. Oh, look at this, here he goes. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Pressure coming, it's Murray. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Murray on 3rd down. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
And this one ventures out of play on the fly. The question is where it's marked. Looks like they'll say the 17-yard line. Lawrence now off the play action. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is going to stay with the offense as he makes the recovery.
You know what? Everybody on the field is going to make mistakes. The key is to clean that up as quickly as he can. Ball carrier loses possession, but he doesn't panic and lose composure. Instead, well, he hops on the ball and he saves the day.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Now Lawrence on the play fake. Throw wheeled in by Thomas. And he's going to step out a little short of the 10. Not a good spot to punt from. They really want to convert here on 3rd. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Buda Baker picks it off. And the Cardinals get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Well, Brock, they left the locker room in front. Great position to be in, right? But a shaky start to half number 2 with that interception right there.
We know that no lead in this league is safe ever, ever, ever. A 1-point lead, something that looks insurmountable. They all seemingly come down to the final possession anyway. And with a whole half of football left, you just can't give away too many possessions like that.
The Cardinals headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They kick the running back in motion. Kyler looking to throw. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Shotgun handoff to Connor. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
Connor. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Murray, 3rd and goal. Buys, and he carries it in for the touchdown. The Cardinals parlay the interception into points. It's a Kyler Murray touchdown. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Ryland now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cardinals tie this game at 21. The Cardinals kicking team out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Here's a return from the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now the Jaguars getting set to go. And after that interception led to a touchdown in this tie game, really important they get things back on track here. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Completed over the middle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
1st down throw, Lawrence. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Well, motion Brown right. Out of the gun, a give to Etienne. Runs into traffic and hits a wall, no gain. Josh Sweat making the stop. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
That's now a handful of sacks for the defense and a handful of bruises for the quarterback. Consider this, Kate. Truly elite defenses in this league, well, they average just over 3 sacks a game during an entire season. You put up 5 in a contest, you're playing like one of the league's best.
Jacksonville in punt formation. Averaging over 50 yards a kick, and this is another one well hit. Takes it in at the 26. And he's brought down before the return gets far. 58 yards on the punt there. And it'll be their football. The Cardinals offense making its way out. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Plenty to start this drive with Connor. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Josh Hines-Allen, that time to haul him down. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Play action now, Murray. Able to hit Ryman, complete. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
This will be cut by Connor. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a Cardinals 1st down.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Connor trying the right side. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Eric Armstead there on the stop. And it's a nickel set from the Jags on this 3rd down. Murray looking to throw. On the move, headed right. A lot of grass ahead. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. We're still tied through 3 here. Neither defense has given an inch in this one. It's all knotted up at 21. Plenty of scoring here as we begin the final quarter. All right, set now. 1st and 10. Connor on the inside give. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 17. And he's going to score. It's an Arizona touchdown. The Cardinals take a 4th quarter lead. Marvin Harrison Jr. with the touchdown. If you're going to complete that one successfully, Brock, you need the perfect throw, just the right touch, and you also need a guy who can go up and get it just like that.
Yeah, need to be able to muscle somebody off the ball if you're not alone. And call me a little biased. Go ahead. I don't care.
You're biased.
But the success of that play does come down to the timing of the throw, Kate. If you don't throw it on time to that exact spot, you run out of room, and you don't give yourself that kind of chance.
That one right down the middle. And the Cardinals break that tie and now lead by 7. The Cardinals kicking team out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Starting from the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They go right back to Etienne. And they're going to drag him down after a decent gain. He gets up to the 36. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. He's got a man left. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
The nice thing about a drag route is it works versus zone. You can find that soft spot and get a completion, but they can be very effective when you got an excellent route runner running away on that drag route from man coverage.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign where they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Finds him over the middle. And they bring him down around the 34. That's good for 7 yards. And that's a Jaguar 1st down. Lawrence working from the gun. That's Thomas. He's got it. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down. From the gun, Etienne gets it. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down. Throwing from the gun. He brings it in. And this is down all the way to the 3. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Just about every draw play in the book is headed right up the gut, but that doesn't mean you can ignore those DNs and the pressure they create on the edges. You got to hold them off, and if you don't, well, bad things happen just like that.
Ball start. Offense.
There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. Looking to throw, Lawrence. This throw is cupped. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Lawrence looking to throw. He's on the move. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
You know, that may have been a situation when you look back on it and he watches the tape the next day. He's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the 1st down.
On the run, it's Etienne. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Jaguars now trailed by just a point in the 4th. Travis Etienne, the touchdown. His 3rd of the game on the ground. Running it on 4th and goal, that has to take some major guts, Brock, especially knowing a lot of the time there were some rushes before it that came up short.
It's guts, it's will, it's willpower, maybe even it's a little bit of pride. But you know what? When you're in that huddle, you feel that stubbornness to refuse to accept the field goal. Not on our watch. We're going to do all we can to run this sucker in.
On now is Cook to kick this away. On the return, here's Jones. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Arizona offense about set to get going here. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
And he's brought down for a loss.
These edge defenders in the league today, Kate, they've got so much on their list to do. A huge to-do list. They got to get to the passer, they got to set an edge, and they got to stop that run game, not just on the end of the line, but in that case, right in the middle of the field. Hey, Mr. Quarterback, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage was waiting for it, thinking interception to be had, and then completion still pretty good for the defense.
3rd and long for him here. Oh, he missed that one, and he knew it. Put it behind his guy, and now it's 4th down.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game or already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
He takes the fair catch at about the 26-yard line. No return on that punt. And it'll be Jaguars football. The Jaguars, then running back Travis Etienne, trotting back out to the field. And they have leaned on him to get this offense to the end zone in the game, and he's delivered. He's hit pay dirt 3 times. Part of a really nice game for him so far, Brock. Been returning good value on the looks that he's been getting. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's Etienne to begin the drive. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Now it's Lawrence. He'll get this one to Brown. And this one doesn't go far.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Hauled in left side. And he'll get it up to the 44. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. Here's a quick pass to the right side. Cut. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Back to throw. Got a man. It's Thomas. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that's a Jaguar first down. They're set up at the 35 now. Here's Etienne on first down. And he's got a nice run. That reaches the 26. The Cardinals deciding to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. Etienne again. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Arizona goes ahead and calls its second timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Going to the ground again on first. And he's able to manage a couple on that run. The Cardinals are going to use the last of their timeouts. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Now give. It's Etienne headed left. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Now give this up the middle to Etienne. And he drives this forward to the 6. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run, but I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw. Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
1st and 10 now from the 30. One final shot here. And this one falls incomplete. No miracles on the final drive today. This game is over. So the Jaguars, the visitors in this one, but they take home the win. And with overtime in their back pocket, they weren't going to lose it at the end, but they still managed to set up the field goal, and he executed the game winner. What a memorable way to win it. So for Brock Heward and all of our crew, I'm Kate Scott, wrapping up another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jaguars as we say so long from Glendale.